Hello everyone, welcome to Insights with Jeevan. In today's video, we are going to solve aptitude questions. In that, I will solve direction type of questions. To begin with, any sort of direction type of question. First of all, I'll share some tips and strategies on how I will, solve these kind of questions. Before going to solve these questions, first of all, we'll see like this is the diagram that we will draw to solve any sort of the question. Here you can see it is north in this direction, south in this direction it is east, here it is west, and if it is in between north and east, we denote it as northeast, similarly southeast, southwest, and northwest. And one major type of question which comes is that there'll be one person, he will start from his starting position, that will assume here only, and then he would cover some distance and move toward either left or towards right. And guys, in most of the problem it will not be, let's say, I'll share with the example. Let's say there's a person and it is written he moves, let's say, some kilometers towards now north. Now he takes left turn. So it will not be written like he will take 180 degree or how many angles, by how many angle, how many degree he will turn. Most of the time we will assume it as 90 degree. And here you can see, if you see here from here, what would be the left direction? It would be this, and right direction would be this. So if the person takes a turn from here, we would draw it like this only if it is a left turn. And obviously, as I said, angle would not be mentioned, so we'll assume it as 90 degree angle. This will be left. For south, it is opposite. The person moves in the south direction. Now the left and right would be opposite here. So right would be this and left would become like this. One easy way is to imagine yourself like you're standing in this direction. So you assume what would be your left arm, in which direction would be your left arm. Obviously, it would be in this way. Similarly, your right arm will be in this here only. So this becomes right, this becomes left. Similarly, for this is east direction and this is west direction. So in east also, let's say if you're standing here and if he takes a turn, and if he takes a left turn, it will obviously be in this direction. Right will obviously in this. And for west, it would be opposite to what east is. It would be right and it would be left. Right? If it is written 180 degree turn, then you move towards the opposite side. 180 degree turn means what? If you're standing right here and if you take, let's say, 180 degree turn. So 180 degrees like this much. So you will move towards south if you're standing in north. Or you may even go from this side also. It will again be south. Doesn't matter which direction. Similarly, if you're standing in west and you take 180 degree turn, you would move towards east. Similarly, from east you will move towards west. So just consider your opposite direction case of 180 degree turn. Right. So this is one approach, and most of the question that I will share in this video will be covered by this particular strategy itself. Another type of question which comes are shadow type of question, which involves shadow. So let's say if it is written that there is a sunrise. Sunrise is in which direction? It rises in the east direction. So if a person at the time of the sunrise, if the person, let's say, is facing this east direction, the person is facing this east direction, his shadow will obviously be towards the west. Shadow will obviously be towards the west here. And opposite, if there's a sunset, the shadow of the object will always be in the east, right? So you have to imagine, like, if it is a sunrise, the shadow will obviously be in the west, and if in case of a sunset, the shadow will be in the case of east direction. And at 12 noon, the person is like at, for example, at 12 noon here, there will be no shadow, right? There will be no shadow in this particular case because sun rays will obviously be vertically downwards, right? So this, by this approach, you can solve any type of problem which involves direction. So this is the very first question. A man walks 5 kilometers towards south and then turns to the right. After walking 3 kilometers, he turns to the left and walks 5 kilometers. Now, in which direction he is from the starting place? So these options are given. So we will obviously, in order to solve this question, we will draw diagram. Okay, so let's say this is the starting position. A man walks 5 kilometers towards south. So south is what? It is this direction. So he walks, let's say, in this direction. He walks how many kilometers? He walks 5 kilometers towards south. And now he turns to the right. So right is what? From here, right is which direction? This is opposite of north. In north, left is this, right is this. So here, right would be what? This direction would be right, and no angle has been mentioned here. So we'll consider 90-degree angle. Or in order to solve this question, sometimes you can imagine yourself like standing in this direction. You can see that obviously this will be your left and this will be your right. So it's written, then he turned to the right after walking 3 kilometers. It means that from here in the right direction he would walk 3 kilometers. Then it is written after walking 3 kilometers he turns to the left. From here in this direction, what would be the left one? It would be this. You can see this is what? This is the west direction also. This is east. In east, left is this, right is this. In west, right is this and left is this. It is written he turns to the left. He will turn in this direction and walks 5 kilometers. He walks 5 kilometers in this direction. Now, it is asked in the question in which direction he is from the starting place. Okay, sometimes people get confused in the fact like you can see that this arrow it actually points like you can see like it's in like south direction. So people sometimes will what they do is that they'll take south as a answer. But what is asked in the question? It is asked in which direction he is from the starting place. So we assume that he started from here only. This is the starting place. And from here you need to see what direction does this makes. This is the final position, this is the starting position. Which direction is this? This is not south. This is what? This is southwest. Because this is between south and west. If the person would have been, let's say, here only, then we could have said ki the south, we could have take south as our option or as our answer. But this is not south. This is what? This is southwest because we have to see the direction from the starting position, from the initial position where we have started. Right? So the answer would be what? Answer would be southwest. So this is our solution. Coming to the next question. Again, it is similar to what we have solved in the very first question. It is very similar to it. Let's again draw this. Rasik walked 20 meter towards north. North is this direction, so he would walk, let's say, 20 meter. 20 meter towards north. Then he turned right, obviously. From north, obviously, this is left, this is right. So he turned right and walks 30 meter. Walks 30 meter. Okay. Then he turns right. This is what? This direction is what? This is east direction. You can see east. Left is this, right is this, or you can imagine yourself standing like here in this direction. So your left arm will be here, your right arm will be here. So this is left and this is right. Right? That's easy to how we can understand. Then he turns right. After walking 30 meter, he turns right. So right is what? Right is this direction. Okay. And walks 35 meter. It is 35 meter. So it will be more than 20, right? He'll be in this direction. So 35 meter is what? 20 plus 15. So this is 20. Up to here it is what? It is 20. The rest here it will be 15. It will be 15. That is what makes 35, right? 20 plus 50. So he's here now. Then he turns to the left. This is what? This is what? This is in south direction. South direction. Left would be what? Left would be here only. Right? It is opposite to what left in north direction is. It is here it is left, it is right. So in south, left would be what? Left would be here in this direction. Then he turns left and walk 15 meter. Walked 15 meters here. Okay. Okay, if this is 30, this is 30, this will also be 30. Okay. He's here now. In which direction and how many meter he is from the starting position? Again, starting position was what? Was here. In the very first question, we were only asked direction in the question. But here, we are asked direction. Along with that, we are also asked distance. Because in the very first question, we were not given, I think, distances. We were given distances, but obviously, distance was not being asked. It is very similar to the very first one, but you have to calculate distance also. Starting position was this. You have to only see starting as well as your ending position. Okay. So how many distance means we have to see the distance from like here till here, because this is the starting, this is what, this is our ending position. So this will be what, this will be simply, this is 30 and this is what, this is 15. 15 is from here to here. 30 is what, 30 is from here to here. So it will be 30 plus 15. 30 plus 15 is what? It is 45, right? 45. And you can also see this direction is what? This direction is east direction. Simply, this direction is east. So 45 meter east is our answer. Third question. Golu started from his house towards north. After covering a distance of 8 kilometers, he turned towards left and covered a distance of 6 kilometers. What is the shortest distance now from his house? Okay, so this type of problem, shortest distance is being asked. This is also one of the type of question in directions which usually comes in aptitude exams. Golu started from his house towards north. North is like this. Okay. After covering a distance of 8 kilometers, the distance covered is 8 kilometers. He turned towards left. Left is this and covered a distance of 6 kilometers. Okay, this is 6. Now, what is the shortest distance now from his house? He started from here and this is his house. So, if it is our shortest distance would be what? From here to here, shortest distance would be what? It would be simple diagonal. We draw this simply. This is the shortest distance. Longest would be, or the usual one is like from here to here. But the shortest one is simple as is this, right? So we have to calculate this distance. How we'll calculate this distance? It's from Pythagoras theorem. You can see simply this is what? This is a right angle triangle. This is right angle 90 degree. Right. And you know this theorem very well that let's say this is A, this is B, and this is C. So AC whole, if this is a right angle triangle, so AC whole square would be what? It will be equal to AD whole square plus DC whole square, right? So here we have to see this distance. This will be what? It will be simply square root of, because here it is square. So in order to calculate distance, we'll obviously use square root. And square of what? Sum of the square of what? 6.8. 6 square is what? It is 36. 8 square is what? It is 64. So that would be 100. Square root of 100 is what? It's simply 10. The answer would be what? It would be 10 kilometer. We have 10 kilometer in our option, right? So if this shortest distance being asked, you simply draw a one straight line or the diagonal from here to here. Okay. Rohit walked 20 meter towards south, then he turned to his left and walked 20 meter. He then turned to his left and walked 25 meter. He again turned to his right and walked 15 meter. At what distance he is from starting position in which direction? It is very similar to what our second question was. It is again to our diagram. Rohit walked 20 meters towards south. Okay, so this is 25 meter towards south. He's 25 meter. Then he turned to his left again because left would be what? Left would be this opposite to of north again, right angle. So okay, and how much distance he had walked is 20. Is 20. Okay. He then turned to his left. From here, left would be what? Left would be this direction. This is east, right? In east, left is this. In west, left is this. Opposite to east. He walked 25 meter. 25 meter is again here up to here because this was also 25, right? So up to here again it is 25. He then turned to his right. Okay, he is here, right? Right would be what? Right would be in this direction because if you see this arrow, it is pointing towards north. North, right is this. He then turned to his right and walked 15 meter. Okay, walked 15 meter. Okay. At what distance he is from starting point in which direction? Simply starting point was this. So distance would be what? From here till here. This will be the distance. And you can see simply the person is here only. Simply this is east. This is east. Obviously see east it is either 35 and 45. So from here to here distance would be what? It is 15 plus what? 20. Because if this is 20, this will also be 20. And 20 plus 15 is what? It is it is 35, right? So the answer is 35 meter. And the direction is obviously east. So 35 meter east is our answer. Fifth question, it is the shadow type of question, right? One morning after sunrise, Vimal started to walk. During this walking, he met Stephen, who was coming from opposite direction. Vimal watched that the shadow of Stephen is to the right of him. To which direction Vimal was facing? This is typical shadow type of question. Okay. We obviously know it is written after sunrise, right? Sunrise is in which direction? Sunrise is in east. Okay. This is sun. And we also know if sunrise is in east, the shadow would be what? It would be in the west. Shadow will be seen in the west here. And it is also written in the question that they were standing opposite to each other. If Stephen is standing, like Stephen is facing in this direction, Vimal will be facing in this direction. Or opposite, like Vimal here and Stephen here. So they will be in the opposite direction. Either we can say like this or any way. But they were just walking opposite to each other. Okay. Okay, so in sunrise we know that the shadow is in the west direction. So shadow will be here only. During this walking, he met Stephen, who is coming from opposite direction. Vimal watched as the shadow of Stephen is to the right of him. So wherever Vimal is standing, to the right of the Vimal, to the right of the Vimal will be the shadow of Stephen. Shadows here, right? To the right. Okay. So either we can see Vimal standing here. Let's say Vimal is standing in this and pacing like this, moving in the south. Let's. So if it is he is moving in the south, we know, like for example, if the person is moving in north direction, the left would be this and the right would be this. And if the person is walking towards south, right is what? Right is sorry, this is left and the other one is right. Right would be opposite. Right would be obviously opposite. So, if he's let's say moving in this direction, so right would be what? Right would be here, like in this direction would be right. where the shadow would be there. Where shadow is in what? Shadow is in west direction, right? And we also know that Stephen would be moving opposite. If Vimal is moving in this direction, Stephen would be moving towards the north, like here. They'll be opposite to each other. That is why when Stephen is moving and Vimal is moving opposite to him, to the right of the Vimal is what? Right is here. So right of the Vimal would be what? Would be the shadow of Stephen, right? And the question we have asked, to which direction Vimal was facing. Vimal was obviously moving in. This is what the arrow points towards south. It is moving towards south direction. The south would be the answer. So this is the last question. Um, it is similar to what we have solved earlier. X started to walk straight towards south. Okay, towards south. And after walking 5 meters, he turned to the left. Obviously, because we have already solved so many questions, which is very similar to this, we know it's easier to know the left is this. There's no need for explanation. After this, he turned to the right. Okay, so the right would be what? Right would be this direction. He walked 5 meters. Now, to which direction X is facing? He is here. So there might be confusion for a lot of people. Is that like for them this might be southeast because they'll calculate from the initial one. But we have to see what is asked in the question. It is asked which direction X is facing. So in the very first question that we have solved, it was asked what is the person's direction from his initial or the starting position. So you have to see what is asked in the question. If it is written which direction the person is facing, then the answer would be different. And if it is written the direction from the starting position, then the answer obviously would be. So here it is asked to which direction X is facing. You see the arrow. This is what? This is what? This is in. Obviously, this is south direction. South is answer. You have to see whether it is asked from the initial position or it is asked simply. It has been asked which direction the person is facing. If it would have been asked that calculate the direction from the initial one, then it would obviously be southeast as the answer. So that's it for the video, guys. And if you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And I'll post more such videos or more such content if you all want. And that's it. Thanks for watching.